Welcome back to Living 757. Now, we all know Virginia is for lovers. We all know this. But beyond loving each other, of course, we love to explore the rich history that this state has. And joining us today, Jamie Helmick of the Jamestown Yorktown Foundation. How are you doing, Jamie?
Hey, girl. Great. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Doing great. And Jamie, really quick, as manager of volunteer services, can you give us a little bit more of what you do?
I help run our volunteer department. Our museum is run by a combination of staff and volunteers. So I'm involved in all of the programming elements in our museum. And both of our museums, actually, we have two museums. The Jamestown Settlement, which you can see behind me in our recreated Paspahegh town, is part of that museum. And our Yorktown American Revolution Museum at Yorktown as well, which is a museum that it was over in Yorktown, Virginia.
Okay.
Very cool. Now, can you tell me how you all's reopening experience has been so far? I know it's been a struggle with COVID.
It's actually been a really positive experience. We reopened at the end of June, and we put a lot of, safety measures in place, of course. So we've opened with social distancing in mind. So we have limited capacity in our smaller areas. We require masks indoors. They're recommended outdoors, but definitely required indoors. We have hand sanitizing stations. We do our own sanitizing every 30 minutes. So with all those safety measures in mind, we're doing pretty well with the reopening. We welcome back families and visitors all throughout this summer, and we're doing about half of what we normally do visitation-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can imagine that because first of all, the summer has gone by so fast. Like, I can't believe the summer's already done.
Yeah.
But with fall being on the horizon, are there any events coming up that you would like to share with us?
Yes. Yeah, we did have to, unfortunately, limit some of our summer events. But we are excited that we have a lot of our fall events still in the works with all those, safety measures still in place, obviously. So they're going to be a little bit different than they usually are this fall, but they're still happening. So normally we have a powwow the first full weekend in October, which is October 11th and 12th, is it? 10th and 11th, sorry, 10th and 11th. And normally we have our powwow that weekend, but with all the social distancing measures, what we're doing instead is an American Indian heritage celebration. So we're still going to have the same kind of demonstrations, but it'll be on a smaller scale with more limited numbers allowed to come, view it. But there'll be dancing, there'll be demonstrations like the ones you can see going on behind me that will celebrate American Indian heritage.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, even with virtual schooling, Jamestown makes an amazing field trip. Can you tell me more about why?
With virtual schooling, we're offering basically kind of virtual tours that you can book. Teachers, students, parents can book them, and you watch the content ahead of time. So it's kind of pre-taped, and then you have a live session with an educator so that you can ask the questions that you had about the tour as you watch it at home. But it's also a good experience since we are open. If you are stuck at home, in your virtual learning experience, come out and visit us. And that way, we're all staring at screens all the time right now. So the best way to get away from that is to come out and immerse yourself in a historical environment. We've got indoor immersive galleries. We've got films here to watch. We've got all our outdoor living history areas. You can interact with real people and ask them questions. So it's kind of a nice break from that virtual experience. But while you're at home in your virtual experience, we do have a website, historiesfun.org, and there's a history at home section that highlights some of those virtual programs that we're offering. So we have some free videos on there, and then we have those virtual programs you can book.
So you all have obviously all your in-person stuff that parents can bring their kids to for field trips, but then you also have virtual field trips.
Yes. Yep.
That's so cool, especially for, kids or families who are immunocompromised, can't get out of the house. I feel like that's a really nice respite from the normal school day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and are there any charges to anything, or is all of this free?
It's free to James City County and York County residents, but it's a fee for everybody else who comes.
It's a fee, and I'm sure the fee is worth it because education, especially during this time, I know a lot of parents are struggling with the virtual learning as well as the kids, and so it's an adjustment period for everyone. So we certainly appreciate what you are doing there in Jamestown and Yorktown, and thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
You.
Talk with you. Bye.